Hello, dear listeners, and welcome to our podcast. I'm James, and with me is Sophia. Today, we talk about something everyone faces: pain. Pain is not just physical. It can be in the heart, in the mind, or in life. Sometimes, pain comes from hard work, sometimes from loss, and sometimes from problems we do not expect. But pain is part of life, and learning to endure it makes us stronger.
Hi everyone, and I'm Sophia. That's right, James. Pain is not easy, but it teaches us important lessons. It shows us what really matters. When we go through pain, we understand ourselves better. We learn what we can handle. Some people become stronger after pain because they find a reason to keep going. Others feel lost and do not know how to continue. But pain is not the end. It is just part of the journey.
Yes, Sophia, pain changes us, but we decide how it changes us. Some people let pain break them, and others use it to grow. Think about athletes. They train hard and their muscles hurt. But they know this pain is part of success. It is the same in life. If we learn to endure pain, we can become wiser, braver, and more patient. It's not about avoiding pain, but about facing it with courage.
Pain is something no one wants, but it comes to everyone. Some pain is small, like being tired after a long day. Some pain is big, like losing someone you love. No matter what kind of pain it is, we have to find a way to keep moving forward. If we stop because of pain, we might miss something good that is waiting for us. Pain is hard, but it can teach us important things about life and about ourselves.
That is true, Sophia. Pain shows us our limits, but it also helps us push past them. When we endure pain, we grow stronger. Think about a person learning to play the guitar. At first, their fingers hurt, but if they stop, they will never play well. If they keep going, their fingers become stronger and they can make beautiful music. In life, pain works the same way. It is difficult, but it can make us better.
Yes, James, pain is not just something we feel. It is something we can use. People who endure pain learn patience. They learn how to stay strong even when things are hard. Pain can teach us to appreciate happiness more. If we never felt pain, we would not understand how special joy is. Pain reminds us that we are alive, and it gives us a chance to grow in ways we never imagined.
Pain is not always something we can control, but how we respond to it is our choice. When people face pain, some give up, but others keep going. Think about a student who fails an exam. They can stop trying, or they can study harder and pass next time. The pain of failure can make someone stronger if they use it to improve. Pain is not the end of the road. It can be the start of something new.
Yes, James, pain can teach us to be stronger, but it can also teach us to be kinder. When we suffer, we understand how others feel when they go through hard times. A person who has felt loneliness can help someone who feels alone. A person who has been sick understands how important health is. Pain can open our hearts and help us connect with others in ways we never did before.
That is very true, Sophia. Pain helps us see what really matters. Many people only think about success, but when they go through pain, they realize that love, friendship, and health are more important than money or fame. A rich person can feel empty, but a person who has endured pain and found love can feel rich in a different way. Pain changes how we see life, and sometimes it helps us see more clearly.
And pain also teaches us to be patient. When we are in pain, we want it to go away fast. But some pain takes time to heal. A broken heart does not heal in one day. A deep wound needs time to close. If we learn to be patient and trust that things will get better, we can endure pain in a better way. Instead of fighting pain, sometimes we need to give ourselves time to heal.
When we talk about pain, we also talk about hope. Pain feels heavy, but hope gives us the strength to carry it. Imagine a person training for a marathon. Their legs hurt. They feel tired, but they keep running because they believe in reaching the finish line. In life, pain tests us, but if we hold on to hope, we can endure it. Hope reminds us that pain is not forever and that better days will come.
Yes, James, hope is very important. When people go through pain, they need to believe that things will improve. A person who loses their job might feel hopeless, but if they keep looking, they can find a new opportunity. A broken heart might hurt now, but time and new experiences can heal it. Pain teaches us that nothing stays the same forever, and if we stay strong, we will see change.
That's true, Sophia. Pain also helps us find our inner strength. Many people don't know how strong they are until they face difficulties. A person who lifts heavy weights becomes stronger over time. It is the same with emotional pain. At first, it feels impossible, but as we endure it, we realize we are stronger than we thought. Sometimes, pain shows us the power we had inside us all along.
And pain helps us grow. James, a tree that faces strong winds develops deeper roots. People are the same. Pain pushes us to learn, to change, and to become wiser. A person who has faced struggles often has more experience and understanding. They know what is truly important in life. Pain can be a teacher, showing us lessons we would never learn in easy times.
Pain can feel lonely, but the truth is, everyone experiences it. No one goes through life without facing struggles. When we understand this, we see that we are not alone. A person who loses a loved one might feel like no one understands, but many others have felt the same loss. When we share our pain, we realize that others have also endured and found ways to heal.
That's right, James. Pain can bring people together. When we are honest about our struggles, we connect with others who have been through similar experiences. A person who has been sick understands another person's sickness. A person who has been heartbroken knows how to comfort someone else. Pain teaches us to care, to listen, and to be there for each other.
Yes, Sophia. Sometimes people try to hide their pain because they think it makes them weak. But asking for help is not weakness, it is strength. A person who asks for support is brave enough to show their true feelings. Friends, family, or even kind strangers can help us endure pain. Talking about our struggles can lighten the burden and help us heal faster.
And pain reminds us of the importance of kindness. We never know what someone else is going through. A simple smile or a kind word can mean so much to a person in pain. Helping others does not take away our own pain, but it gives it meaning. When we support each other, we create strength, hope, and understanding.
Pain can feel endless, but every difficult moment passes with time. When we are in pain, it is easy to think it will never go away. But just like the seasons change, pain also changes. A person who is sad today might find joy tomorrow. A difficult situation that feels impossible now may become easier later. Time does not erase pain, but it helps us heal and see life in a new way.
That's true, James. When we are in pain, it is important to take small steps forward. If someone loses something important, they might not feel better in one day, but they can find little ways to keep going. They can talk to a friend, go for a walk, or focus on something they love. Small steps may not take the pain away completely, but they help us move through it and find new strength.
Yes, Sophia, pain can also teach us to be grateful. When everything is easy, we sometimes forget to appreciate what we have. But when we lose something, we realize its value. A person who has been sick understands the gift of good health. Someone who has been lonely learns to appreciate friendship. Pain can open our eyes to the things we often take for granted.
And pain can help us find meaning. James, some of the strongest people in the world have endured great pain, but instead of letting it destroy them, they used it to help others. A person who has suffered can share their story and inspire someone else. When we find meaning in our pain, it becomes more than just suffering. It becomes a way to grow, to help, and to live with purpose.
Pain can feel like a heavy weight, but we do not have to carry it alone. There are always people who care, even when we feel alone. Sometimes, pain makes us believe that no one understands us, but if we open up, we often find support. A simple conversation, a hug, or even just knowing that someone is there can help us endure pain and remind us that we are not alone.
Yes, James, and sometimes we have to be that support for ourselves. There will be moments when no one is around to help, and in those times, we must be kind to ourselves. Pain can make us think we are weak, but we must remind ourselves that we are strong. Talking to ourselves with kindness, taking care of our bodies, and allowing ourselves to rest are all ways to handle pain.
That is very true, Sophia. Many people try to ignore their pain or hide it, but pain does not disappear when we pretend it is not there. It is okay to cry, to feel sad, or to take time to heal. Ignoring pain can make it worse, but accepting it allows us to grow. Facing pain with honesty and courage helps us understand it better and find ways to move forward.
And pain can also help us find new paths in life. Sometimes, when we lose something or someone, it opens a door to something unexpected. A person who loses a job might find a better one. A person who experiences heartbreak might discover self-love. Pain is never easy, but if we look closely, we might find new opportunities hidden within our struggles.
Pain changes us, but it does not have to break us. When we endure pain, we become stronger, wiser, and more understanding. Life is full of challenges, but every challenge we overcome makes us more prepared for the next one. A person who learns to face pain with courage and patience becomes someone who can handle anything that life brings.
That's true, James. Pain can make us feel lost, but it can also help us find ourselves. Many people discover their true strength during their hardest moments. Some of the most inspiring stories come from people who turned their pain into something positive. They did not let pain destroy them, they used it to grow and to help others.
Yes, Sophia, pain can give us purpose. A person who has struggled with illness may decide to become a doctor. Someone who has faced loneliness may work to help others feel less alone. Pain can teach us what is truly important in life and guide us toward a path that brings meaning. Instead of running from pain, we can learn from it and use it to become better people.
And we must remember that pain does not last forever. No matter how dark a moment feels, there is always light ahead. Just like the night always turns into day, pain will pass. We may not always see the end of our pain right away, but if we keep going, we will find healing, hope, and happiness waiting for us in the future.
Pain is one of the most difficult things in life, but it is also one of the most powerful teachers. Every person in the world experiences pain in different ways: physical pain, emotional pain, the pain of loss, or the pain of failure. No matter what kind of pain we face, it changes us. But the important question is, how do we let it change us? Do we let it make us bitter and hopeless, or do we use it to become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate?
That is an important question, James. Some people let pain take away their happiness. They hold onto it for too long, and it stops them from living. But others use pain to grow. They accept their pain, learn from it, and move forward. It is not easy, but it is possible. A person who fails in business can choose to give up or to try again with more knowledge. A person who loses a loved one can choose to stay in sadness forever or to cherish the beautiful memories and keep moving.
Yes, Sophia, pain does not have to control our lives. It is something we experience, but it does not have to define who we are. When we understand this, we start to see pain differently. Instead of something that stops us, it becomes something that pushes us forward. Many of the strongest people in history have gone through great pain, but they used it as motivation to change their lives and the world around them.
That is true, James. And pain can also remind us to live in the present. Sometimes we spend too much time thinking about the past or worrying about the future. But pain teaches us to appreciate what we have right now. A person who has been sick learns to enjoy their health when they recover. A person who has lost something learns to appreciate what they still have. Pain can open our eyes to the beauty of the present moment.
Yes, Sophia. And another important lesson pain teaches us is that healing takes time. We cannot rush it, and we cannot force it. Just like a wound on the skin needs time to close, emotional pain needs time too. But if we take care of ourselves, surround ourselves with positive people, and allow ourselves to heal, we will eventually feel better. Pain is not forever, even when it feels like it will never end.
Exactly, James. And while we wait for healing, we can still find joy in small things. A simple walk, a good conversation, a favorite song, these little things help us through painful times. Even in the hardest moments, there are small sparks of happiness around us. If we learn to see them, they make our pain easier to carry.
And that is what enduring pain is really about, Sophia. It is not about ignoring pain or pretending it does not exist. It is about facing it with courage, allowing ourselves to feel it, learning from it, and then moving forward. Pain is a part of life, but it does not have to stop us from living fully. When we understand this, we gain power over our struggles. We become stronger, wiser, and ready to face whatever comes next.
Enduring pain is one of the hardest things in life, but it is also one of the most important. Pain teaches us lessons we could never learn in comfort. It helps us grow, understand, and appreciate life in a deeper way. But to endure pain, we must first accept it. We must recognize that pain is a part of life, not something to fear or run away from. Every person who has ever achieved something great has faced pain, struggled, and overcome challenges. Pain is not the end, it is a step towards something greater.
That is so true, Sophia. Pain tests our strength, but it also reveals it. Many times, we do not know how strong we are until we face something difficult. A person may think they cannot survive a heartbreak, but after some time, they realize they are still standing. Someone may believe they cannot get through a tough situation, but when they look back, they see how far they have come. Pain forces us to dig deep and find strength we did not know we had.
Yes, James, and pain also teaches us empathy. When we experience pain, we become more understanding of others. A person who has felt deep sadness knows how to comfort someone who is suffering. Someone who has faced failure can encourage another person to keep trying. Our struggles allow us to connect with others in a real and meaningful way. That is why some of the kindest, most compassionate people are the ones who have endured the most pain.
That is a powerful thought, Sophia. Pain does not just change us, it prepares us. Every painful experience builds us into the person we are meant to be. A person who has been through difficult times becomes wiser, stronger, and more prepared for the future. Pain does not take away our value, it adds to it. Every struggle, every tear, every challenge shapes us into someone who can face anything that comes next.
And that is why we must never let pain stop us from living, James. Pain may slow us down, but it should never make us give up. Life is full of joy, beauty, and possibilities, even in the midst of suffering. When we keep moving forward, even with pain in our hearts, we find new reasons to hope and new opportunities to grow. Enduring pain is not just about surviving it, it's about living through it and coming out stronger on the other side.
That is the key, Sophia. Pain is not the end of our story. It is just a chapter, one that leads to something greater. No matter what pain we face, we must remember that we are not alone, that we are stronger than we think, and that there is always hope ahead. Even in the darkest moments, there is light waiting for us if we keep moving forward.